I just want to take a moment and relish your deliciousness. I shared this morning at the 9 o'clock service. I have the honor of speaking all over North America. In fact, I leave Tuesday I have 3 speaking engagements up in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. I may have to rethink that next time, not to go to Canada in the middle of November, but but loving the organizations that I get to speak to up there. And I feel like I come home when I come home to Dallas, so yeah. I have a question for you. How many of you have ever had a morning where you woke up and you didn't want to get out of bed? All you wanted to do was to crawl in and just pull the covers up over your head. Friday was one of those days for me. I've had a terrific amount of content. Now, one of the things that I have come to understand, and the people that I have the honor of working with, I help them understand that the content of your life is the curriculum of your evolution. Let me say that again. The content of your life is the curriculum of your evolution. Within the last 4 months, my content has been, my mother became very ill. During that week, my sister became ill and died. A month later, or actually 3 weeks later, we put our dog down. Then we moved. Then my dad, who I've been taking care of over the last 11 years, began his transition out. And so I had the honor of being the sole family member to support him as he made his transition and died. And last week, I took him back to Louisiana. Thank you for, as the Saints go marching in, had a little bit of New Orleans second line going on. I buried my dad. And then Thursday morning, I was actually in my own awareness training with my mentor. I woke up to find out that a young man lost his mind, literally lost his connection with one mind, and killed and harmed over 21 people with college students that attended the college that is literally 2 blocks from my house in Thousand Oaks, California. And as we're reeling from that, I'm watching my phone looking to see if we're being evacuated because of the fires. So I've had a bit of content. And what was really interesting about Friday morning, because I rarely have those days, but Friday was just one of those days where I just wanted to put my hand out to God and say, all right, just pause. Let us all catch our breath. Have any of you all ever had those moments? Well, I'm here to tell you that I didn't stay in bed. I got up, suited up, and showed up. I did it Friday. I got on a plane yesterday, and I'm here today. And as I was thinking, thank you. And I was thinking about this, so I'm gonna give a caveat. Those of you who've heard me before, I'm usually pretty precise and have a degree of organization to my talk, and I have that today. But I'm gonna ask for a little bit of leeway because I really wanted to work this in because this is the stuff of spiritual transformation. So I'm a little tender-hearted, and I may not be as sharp and precise, but I promise you'll walk out of here with things that you can use today. Are we in for that? Yeah. So I was thinking, okay, so what was it that gets me out of bed, that gets you out of bed during those moments when it just feels like the world is closing in around you? And what I realized is that it's purpose. It's purpose. Now, I gave the title of this talk a couple of weeks ago. I'm on the plane flying over here. It's like, all righty, watch what you ask for, right? Watch what you put out there. But I realized that it's realizing that every single one of us has purpose. And when we choose not to participate with our purpose, that there's literally a hole in the universe. There's a hole in our world. And that as we wrap our arms around whatever may be going on in your life right now, and I would venture to guess that every single one of us in some way, shape, or form, in some domain of our life, have got some content going on. Raise your hand if you've got some kind of content going on. Yeah. And for those of you who didn't raise your hand, just give a kind glance to the times that you did and take these words for when the content shows up, because we're in this three-dimensional realm and content continues to show up. It's realizing how we show up in those times and to show up in a way that we're really living on purpose. Because as we do that, not only are we transformed, but truly, this is how we fundamentally transform the face of the planet. And in case y'all didn't know, the world is really praying for the transformation that we each individually have to bring. So that's what we're up to today. We're going to go deeper into what is it to live on purpose today. And then this afternoon, we're going to go much deeper into really unlocking your fundamental purpose and discovering your unique purpose, no matter where you are in life. I so appreciate your illustration, and please forgive me, I didn't catch your name. Pat, your illustration of what it is to stay in purpose at every stage of our life. So thank you, not only for the service that you give, but for the remarkable example that you give us all. So there's two layers to purpose. Number one, every single one of us has our own unique purpose that we bring to give our own gifts, capabilities, contribution. That if you did not bring your unique set of gifts, truly there would be a gap in our universe. It changes over time. That what you gave in terms of purpose, say 10, 15, 20 years ago, it morphs and evolves and transcends as you morph and evolve and transcend. And there is a fundamental purpose that every single one of us has been charged with that does not change, morph, or evolve. Our understanding of it does, but the fundamental purpose doesn't. And that fundamental purpose for every single one of us sitting here is to discover how powerful we truly are. It's to discover, unlock, and unleash that power. As we do that, this is what brings the power and the force of spirit in the granular experience of our lives. Can y'all see that? Anybody wondering what that power is? Yeah, it's us, but let's get even more specific than that. Your power is your capacity to use this faculty of your imagination to weave images of a life and a world that absolutely lights you up. Because when you understand what happens with those images, you understand the necessity of dedicating your life to using this intentionally and consciously. We have all been given this unlimited capacity to create. Every single one of us has this amazing capacity to create anything you think up. How many have heard this before? How many of y'all have heard James before? Okay, so if you didn't raise your hand, then we have a lot of new people in here. Yeah, this is fundamental unity. You know, Charles Fillmore, thoughts held in mind produce after their kind. I love that quantum physics is now proving what spiritual masters have been teaching throughout the ages, that what we predominantly mentally rehearse in this faculty of our imagination and charge with our emotions actually creates an energetic pattern. It's actually the feelings that has the vibration to it that then begins to transmit and communicate signals to this field of energy that's responsive, it's generative, and it's creative. And in some fantastical way that I don't understand, this energy then organizes according to the pattern that you're giving it with your predominant thought habit and creates your results. Thoughts in mind produce after their kind. Now, I want us to take a moment and be in awe of this amazing gift that we've been given. There is no other species on the planet that we are aware of that has the capacity to consciously choose our images. This is the creative capacity. When in Genesis, when it says, and God made humankind in its image, it's this, folks, our ability to weave a scenario that lights us up when we think about it. Now, here's the deal. You're weaving a scenario all the time anyway, and you're always transmitting something to this invisible intelligence. Friday, and I kid you not, when that alarm went off, and I literally just pulled the covers over my head, and oh God, no, I don't want to do today. You know, not a very empowering thought, right? And I shared this morning. Please hear me. This is not to suggest that we do a spiritual bypass. That when we experience that human element, that human condition, whatever it may be, to really honor the human experience. You know, it's in Psalms it says, "Yea, though we walk through the valley of the death." We're walking through that human experience, but what we're not doing is pitching a tent. That we keep moving through it. So it was an awareness in that moment of Friday, just really wanting to pull the covers over my head. It's like, in this moment, this is when I'm transmitting, this is my holy conversation. Because the images that you generate is what initiates your conversation with Spirit. Your prayers are not just your words. I mean, absolutely your prayers are your words. But the true prayer, what Spirit really pays attention to, is the habit of your images and the feelings that you're generating around it. Can y'all see this? So if we really got this and we just fell to our knees in reverent gratitude for this amazing gift that we've been, then we come to understand that the highest purpose that we can live into is learning how to use this intentionally. And as we learn how to use this intentionally, and we're entering into this holy conversation as dictated and directed by our images and our feelings, then we come to understand that the most potent, powerful, holiest, most reverent question that we can learn to live from is, what would I love? What would I love? What would I love to do, have, give, and be? What if we, as this community right here, dedicated our lives, that our purpose became to live from that question? It is love itself seeking a richer, freer, fuller expression by means of the answer to that question. So Friday, as I was living into that question, part of me was like, well, I'd love my dad to still be here. I'd love for my sister still to be here. I'd love for my dog to still be here. I would have loved for that guy not to have walked into the Borderline bar last night. I'd love for my house not to burn down, which, by the way, it didn't, and we're good. And in the midst of that content, you are generating images no matter what. You can't stop this. So in the midst of that, I was able to cause myself to ask, okay, so given the facts and conditions, and these are some things that I cannot change, what would I love? What would I love? And so in the midst of your facts and conditions right now, whatever they are, bring to mind images that when you think about it, you just light up. Understanding that Spirit moving through you in the form of the answer to that question. Everybody got it? All right. Now, here's what makes this such a powerful, transformative experience. The minute you start asking that question, notice the part of you that we've been highly trained to go out and start gathering data. You start stacking data to give you reasons why you can't do this. Right? Right now, you're going to your calendar, you're going to your checkbook, you're going to your history, you're going to the opinions of others, and you're gathering all of that data to give you reasons why you can't do this. It's a stunning thing that we do as human beings. If we really believe that our images are what creates our reality, because that's what's creating the organizing principle for the energy then to lay down track around, effectively what we do is that we go to the echo of our past thoughts to give us permission about what we want to imagine. It's kind of a backward system when you think about it. Can y'all see this? Can you see yourself doing it? It's fascinating what we do to ourselves. What if our purpose was to understand a fundamental spiritual principle, which is image is supreme to form? Let me say that one again. Image is supreme to form. When we go out here to gather data, effectively we are laying at the altar, we are laying our thinking at the altar of ancient history of our thinking. And we say, this out here is more powerful than this. It's not just prayer and God, it's understanding the gift we've been given and our ability to image and what happens with our imaging faculty. Are y'all following me with this? Yeah, good. So, as you live into purpose and you're living into the question, what would I love? What you're learning to do is to really go deep and access the awareness that there is something so much bigger at work than what's happening out here. And the way you access that power is to begin to allow yourself to dream into images that absolutely light you up. That lighting up energy, that's spirit moving through you. So right now, bring those images back to mind. And there's 4 areas that I encourage you to do: your health, your relationships, your work, your vocation, and your freedom on your calendar and in your checkbook. The work is to allow those to be the loudest voice in your head when our world is going crazy. Love the song in this context. There's a whole metaphysical lesson around that, because what I wanted to hear was that she got up and said, I'm done, and I'm moving on to what Spirit has in mind for me next. So we're gonna do a part 2 crazy. You're crazy for not letting, anyway. Different talk. You'll have to bring me back or get James to do it. James would be brilliant around it. So the first element is that we start gathering data as to why these thoughts are not to be trusted. When you don't trust images that you love, what you're saying is that you don't trust God. Because you're not generating those images, Spirit is generating those images. That is God's prayer to us. Second phenomenon that happens the minute we start living into this question, what would I love? Right now, every single one of us has a set point for how much success, how much abundance, how much purpose we will allow ourselves to experience. The instant you start thinking about moving beyond that set point, it's as if everything inside of you is going to drill you right back down to your current habit. Now, there's good news, and we're going to go deeper into the good news this afternoon. But the good news is that there's a system to transform this. First of all, number 1 is to really begin to work with the question, what would I love? Making that your life's purpose. See those images, feel the feelings. Then what you want to do is start building a relationship with the man or the woman who created those results. The purpose of your dream is to grow you into an even greater version of yourself. Who you are today, as magnificent as you are, you're not a match for that dream life. Your dream is inviting you into a deeper awareness of who you are really created to be. Now, the wonderful thing is that you can begin to build a relationship with that person now. You literally zip yourself into the skin of the man or the woman who created those results. You ask yourself, if it all worked out, how would I feel? So Friday morning, I was walking myself through this process. End of the day, Saturday, Sunday, I'm there. I'm living into my purpose. How do I feel? I feel so grateful, joyous, fulfilled. And I generated those feelings Friday morning sitting in a hotel in Torrance, California. We have this amazing capacity to consciously choose how we're going to feel before our facts give us permission. Why this is so important is because as you do that, you are literally lighting up different areas of your brain and you begin to think differently. You now have access to a whole stream of intelligence that you don't need if you're living from current facts and conditions. And now you can begin to move your feet in the direction of this life that you're seeking to create for yourself. And you do it by asking two different questions. Number one, if I really believed this was possible, if I really believed that this dream was God's purpose for me, what's an action step I would take? And you start listing and sourcing and taking action steps. It's what Robert did. You know, there's a little bit of a gestation period. I don't know where Robert went, but Robert did it. And then the second question, what can I do where I am with what I have? Realizing we have way more resource than what we can see from our limited view living in our current facts and conditions. As you do this, trust the image, generate the feelings, zip yourself into the skin of the person who created those results, and move your feet, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. Watch you step even more into this amazing being that you are created to be, and watch you living on purpose in a brand new dynamic in a way that you have never lived to that level before. And as we do this, watch our world transform. Because as you choose to live on purpose, this, my friends, is the way that we bring the kingdom of heaven here on earth. All right, so a little bit of assignment, and then we'll do a quick little meditation. Come to the workshop this afternoon. If this is resonating with you at all, we're going to go much deeper. I know some of you think you've heard me before, and you heard my 2017 version. You have not heard my 2018 version. You know, here's the deal. I sat with my mentor, Mary Morrissey, for 2 days, and I've been working with her now for 8 years. And I don't know where Nancy Hart went, but Nancy can attest to this as well. There's nothing new that comes out of Mary's mouth. I would love to be able to say that Mary comes up with, it's all brand new. I mean, she finds different ways of explaining it, but law is law is law. And one of the things that I have learned is to stay humble to what I don't know. And what I don't know is what's not reflecting and expressing in my life as my dream. So all of that to say, even if you've heard me before, if this is resonating at all, come back and let's go deeper with this. And some of you may think you've got plans, and the great thing about being an adult is that you can change your plans. As you make your purpose living from the question, what would I love? You rearrange and reorganize your life to make that your top priority. And I would love to be able to serve you in that way. And 100% of all the workshop proceeds is coming back to the church. It's my way of serving the New Thought community. All right, so let's bring this in for a close with just a very short meditation. Short prayer, actually. Big breath, everybody. Just breathing in the deliciousness of spirit, the wonder of life, the awareness that you got to wake up this morning. Not everybody woke up this morning. My sister didn't wake up. My father didn't wake up. Those 12 souls in Thousand Oaks didn't wake up. You all know people who did not wake up this morning, but you did. You're here. You're here to share your unique purpose. You're here to develop this amazing capacity that we've all been given, which is the ability to create at will. And so collectively, as this amazing community called Unity of Dallas, let's stand in the commitment of living into purpose, living into unlocking this indescribable power you have to create, living into the holiest, the most reverent, the most powerful question that you can live into, which is, what would I love? Knowing that as you do these two things, so just feel the energy moving through you. Feel the power of Spirit lighting you up in every cell, every arena, every domain of your life as you open your arms and make yourself available to Spirit. Use me, Spirit. Show me the life that I would love, knowing this is my highest purpose, my highest service, my highest contribution to the body of humanity. And as we each stand into that, see the ripple effect just moving out from your heart center, impacting, radiating, awakening every being on this planet, moving out into the universe, and truly seeing the kingdom of heaven being created right here, right now on earth. And so we bring it in, we feel the angels celebrating, igniting with joy at your decision to live into purpose. What would I love? What would I love? And we give thanks for the capacity to consciously choose images that light us up, that then translates into a world lit up. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. And in the name and the nature of the living Christ, Jesus Christ, our way shore, we say, thank you, sweet Spirit. And so it is. Amen. See you all this afternoon.